Hey, I appreciate you being here. If you're watching this and you care about the Cowboys, you already know how weird and heavy the last few days have felt, and that's okay, this week has been a lot. The season actually kicks off for Dallas on Thursday night in Philadelphia, and that one win there changes everything, at least for a while. Winning that opener would do more than just improve the record. It would reset the mood inside the building, quiet a lot of noise, give the coaches some breathing room, and let players focus back on football instead of headlines. That kind of reset matters more than people sometimes realize. On paper, the Eagles look like the favorites and people will point to numbers from last season, but games aren't played on spreadsheets. Dak Prescott remains one of the best tight window passers in football, and the addition of George Pickens, who excels on contested catches and deep routes, pairs incredibly well with CeeDee Lamb's consistent playmaking. If Tyler Smith and the Cowboys' interior line can control the middle and Tyler Booker holds up against a fierce interior rush, Dak will have time to make the plays that change games. The Cowboys' offensive identity this year could hinge on those matchups. Win the line, and you give Dak a chance to unlock everything this offense can be. I want to hear from you right now. Do you think the Cowboys can win on Thursday night? Type yes or no in the comments and tell me why. I'll read replies and pick a few to respond to on the post-game show. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us reach our goal of 15,000 subscribers and drop a like so more Cowboys fans can find these videos. Those two quick actions genuinely make a big difference for the channel and keep this content coming for you. We also have to acknowledge the emotional layer here. The Micah Parsons trade and the fallout have been messy, and that cloud has hovered over camp. Winning won't erase the larger storylines, but it would change the tone inside the building and give players and staff a chance to regroup around football instead of headlines. Stick around. I'm about to break down the matchup specifics, the critical battles on the line, and the exact matchups where the Cowboys can win or lose this game. Keep listening because the next part shows the 3 things you must watch on Thursday and a bold prediction I'll stake my name on. Ready? Now let's go if you want this team to actually win. On Thursday, the game will be decided in a few very specific spots, and those spots live right in the trenches and at the contested catch areas downfield. Let's start with the interior line because that's where this game could swing one way or the other. Tyler Smith has been credited with one of the lowest pressure rates when aligned at guard over the last 2 seasons, and that matters. If he and Cooper can control the middle, the Cowboys suddenly give Dak a clean pocket more often than not. On the other side, Jalen Carter is a high-effort interior rusher who generated about 45 pressures on nearly 500 pass rush snaps last year, almost a 10% pressure rate. Put simply, if Tyler Booker and the interior group can at least hold their own against Carter, Dak's window for success opens up. If they get steamrolled, it becomes a much longer night. Speaking of Tyler Booker, his preseason snap where he allowed just 2 pressures on 15 pass block attempts is a small sample, but it's the kind of tape you want to see when you're counting on a younger lineman to step up. The Cowboys don't need perfection from him, they need competence. They need him to win enough reps to keep the pocket clean and limit the splash plays from Philadelphia's front. That's the first must-watch battle, interior O-line versus interior rush. Now the receiving battle, Dak's one of the league's best tight window throwers, and George Pickens is tailor-made for that role. Pickens has shown he can win contested, tight window catches, and he stretches the field on deep routes, the kind of player who can convert Dak's tight throws into explosive plays. Pair that with CeeDee Lamb's ability to force missed tackles and produce extra yards, and the Cowboys suddenly have a 2-headed threat that can punish the Eagles if they don't account for both. So the second must-watch is the contested catch equation. How often can Dak and Pickens connect on those borderline throws, and how often will CeeDee break tackles to extend drives? One quick interaction here. Tell me in the comments which matchup you're most worried about, line or receivers. I'll highlight the top replies in the post-game breakdown. And if this content helps you get hyped for Thursday, hit subscribe to help us reach 15,000 subscribers and smash that like button so more Cowboys fans can join the conversation. It's a tiny action for you, but huge for the channel. Finally, we can't ignore the emotional overlay. The Micah Parsons saga is still simmering in the background. Yes, footage showed his first practice in Green Bay, and insiders suggested parts of the timeline were complicated and that emotional noise could either be a distraction or a motivator. Win on Thursday, and a lot of that noise turns into background static for a while, lose, and it gets amplified. Now let's flip to the defensive side, because this game will be decided as much by stops as by explosive offensive plays. The Cowboys' defense has two answered to questions: how quickly can they adjust to Philadelphia's tempo, and can they generate timely pressure without heavy blitz reliance? If Dallas can force early third down longs and make the Eagles one-dimensional, they dramatically increase their chance to win. That starts with the front seven setting a tone on early downs, controlling the line of scrimmage and forcing predictable second down longs. If the defensive line can collapse pockets and win gaps, the rest of the defense gets easier work. Linebacker communication and discipline will be crucial. Staying sound on run fits and handling RPO responsibilities eliminates the cheap plays Philly designs to take advantage of hesitation. The secondary also has to tackle in space. Missed tackles on quick screens or after the catch opportunities will turn into long drives fast. Watch how the Cowboys handle motion and pre-snap shifts. If they stay disciplined and avoid getting pulled out of lanes, they can limit explosive plays and force the Eagles into longer, more manageable drives. The interior pass rush rotation is a key lever. Even 2 or 3 pressures up the middle can force quicker throws, reduce completion rates on contested targets, and give corners and safeties a better chance to jump routes. That internal pressure changes the whole downstream equation for the defense. Special teams matter here too. A short punt, a long return, or a missed field goal in primetime shifts field position and can change the expected points margin in a game this tight. Don't underestimate how a single special teams play can tilt the narrative. I want you to weigh in now. Who do you think will make the biggest defensive play? Someone from the front seven or a defensive back? Drop a name in the comments and I'll highlight the most mentioned picks on the post-game roundup. And please subscribe to help us hit 15,000 subscribers and smash that like button if this breakdown helps you get ready for Thursday. Those small actions really help the channel grow and bring more Cowboys fans into the conversation. Tactically, expect the Cowboys to mix coverages and disguise looks early to test Doc's pre-snap reads. If the defensive line holds gaps and maintains lane integrity while the secondary rotates, the disguise becomes real and confusion at the quarterback level follows. Confusion leads to incompletions and turnover chances. Conversely, if the Eagles diagnose quickly and attack the seams, Dallas will have to rely on sound tackling and timely help to prevent big gains. My bold prediction for this section: a turnover forced by the interior rush rotation will set up a Cowboys scoring drive before halftime. If that happens, the narrative shifts from damage control to momentum seizure, and the game becomes winnable in a way it otherwise might not be. Now let's walk through the 2 most realistic game scripts for Thursday night, how Dallas can win and how they could lose, and then I'll give my final score prediction. First, the winning script. The Cowboys win the line of scrimmage early and sustain it. Tyler Smith and Cooper handle the interior matchups well. Tyler Booker plays steady and avoids critical penalties, and the pocket stays clean long enough for Doc to work through his reads. With enough time, Doc connects on contested throws to George Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb converts third downs to extend drives. Special teams flip field position with a solid punt return and disciplined coverage, and the defense generates one timely turnover, most likely from an interior rush that forces a quick throw or a tipped pass. That turnover sets up a short scoring drive. The Cowboys manage the clock in the fourth quarter, and disciplined tackling prevents explosive plays that would otherwise erase their lead. In that scenario, the Cowboys control the pace, tilt key matchups to their favor, and close out a narrow victory. Now the losing script, the Cowboys get out-muscled inside, and that single disadvantage ripples through every phase. Jalen Carter and Philadelphia's interior rotation win the early battles. Pressure up the middle forces Doc into hurried throws, and contested targets fail to convert. Tyler Booker faces tough matchups and struggles to sustain blocks. The pocket collapses on critical drives, and the offense settles for field goals or turns the ball over. Defensively, missed tackles on screens and after-the-catch plays turn short gains into long drives, and a special teams penalty or mistake hands the Eagles prime field position at a pivotal moment. Momentum swings away from Dallas, mistakes compound late, and the Cowboys find themselves battling from behind with time and opportunities running out. Which scenario do you believe will play out? Vote in the comments, type win script or lose script, and give one specific reason why you picked it. I'll read replies and feature the most thoughtful ones in the post-game recap. If this breakdown helped you, get ready for Thursday. Please subscribe to help us reach our goal of 15,000 subscribers and click like so more Cowboys fans can find the channel. Those two small actions are huge for growth and for keeping this content coming. My final score prediction is Cowboys 24, Eagles 20, a tight, trench-focused game decided by an interior turnover and disciplined situational football from Dallas. Put your final score in the comments as well, and I'll call out a selection or two after the game.